I'm missing something. I've forgotten my cowboy hat. We're here in Texas, we're at Hennessey, and inside my Ford GT, the Shmeemobile, is in the F5 production facility. It's here in America, and today it's going to be hypercar chaos. We're going to go inside and take a look. In fact, there's a new Demon 170 just inside to check out. There are all sorts of other cars. We're going to see some of the F5 production as well, and what's going into that. We're going over to do some drag races here on the runway. Then we're going to be driving my car for the first time back on American soil in 5 years to go over towards Austin, where tonight is the welcome night ahead of an amazing weekend at Circuit of the Americas with the GT1 Sports Club. But there are going to be hypercars galore. We're talking more F5s. We're talking Devin Faster revealing his new Apollo IE along with his Pagani Zonda Revolution and so much more. This is going to be hypercar madness today. There are a lot of very cool cars around here. That's a Raptor R getting the Hennessey treatment. Over here is a 1200 horsepower Mammoth. The TRX, on even more steroids than ever before, come through this way because this Mustang Dark Horse is actually the one I drove before. When we were here at Hennessey, we took out my Dark Horse onto the runway, smoked up the tires, had a ton of fun, needed to order some new ones. In the meantime, they kindly lent me this, and check it out. It's now got their 850 horsepower upgrade, the new Whipple supercharger, the appearance livery pack that you can see on it as well. That's the auto. They can also do it on the manual, so that's a conversation that we're going to need to have, but there's a ton of very interesting things around. I've also just spotted over here a Corvette that drove on Gumball. That was Toronto to Miami 2022. We did it in the GT500. That car took part as well. It's getting some upgrades, but we're here at Hennessey. There's a lot to go and see inside, and I can't quite believe it, but after loading my Ford GT into a container at MyCarImport a month or so ago, it's shipped over, it arrived in the US, it's been transported here, and it's waiting for us inside. Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Texas. Let's get ready for some epic hypercar madness. Welcome back. Here we are at Hennessey, and that is something quite special. That's John Hennessey's Demon 170 awaiting us here, and some other very interesting things. But let's start with this for a second, because John's going to be doing the full upgrade to a 1,700 horsepower package in this incredibly collectible Dodge Demon. In fact, this is, well, there aren't exactly many of them, super limited. So to do that, he's actually going to be taking out the original powertrain and drivetrain, crating them up, and putting in a replacement to do all of the upgrades, so this can be returned back to what it was down the line. There's also here another Dark Horse that's going to be getting the upgrade. This is really like tempting right now. And I remember taking a look at this before, about 6 years ago at the Geneva Motor Show with John, the original car that was used to introduce the Venom F5, the follow-up to the Venom GT, and we took a walk around of that. And in fact, if I just come over this way again, we actually have the motor out of it, the Fury engine, the 7.6 litre twin turbocharged 8-cylinder power plant that powers the monster that is the F5. Now, my car is lurking somewhere back here. I've been to visit many times before, but we need to go through and go and see if we can track it down. This is the main workshop. Things have grown massively since I first ever came to visit. The amount of cars in here getting work done, all sorts of different things, but we're heading through because the F5 production takes place in the new facility towards the end. Normally, no photos allowed. We have special permission today. Come in with me. I love being here, and there's something we're going to come to in a second, because we're also going to be taking a look at this, the Venom F5. This car actually was the one that has an interesting story. We'll come back to it because we're going to take a listen to it as well. And believe me, it's going to sound furious. But you know what we're here for? What we're here for is the car that's right here. My Ford GT is here in the United States. It's back. And you know, when I came out with it before and did the full tour, I actually didn't drive it through the middle of the country. I flew here and I shot a video while I was on that trip, but my car never came to visit. But we have the UK license plate, tag, number plate out here in America again. It is surreal. It is mind-blowing. And we're going to pull that out in a second. But before we do, there are some other things that I kind of want to show you around here, namely the lineup of the F5s, because yes, this place is amazing. There's a lot to go and take a look at. And the GT's here. It's arrived. Now, I've been lucky to come and visit before, But of course, this is where some of the cars are in production. These are some of the customer cars that are here for updates or for storage or for whatever it might be. The middle car is your original F5 Coupe. That's basically where it started. The cars flanking it are Revolution Roadsters, so the even more limited special version and the convertible. So they made 24 original F5s, 30 of the F5 Roadsters, followed by 12 of the Revolutions, and then 6 of the Revolution Roadsters. And it's quite interesting to see these cars side by side. For example, notice the shape of the front splitter and the lack of canards around the side compared to the Revolution, where you have the even dialed up craziness of this. You've got the full exposed carbon fiber bodywork on this car, but I have to say that one is simply stunning. The two-tone blue paintwork, along with the red, white and blue painted stripe down the center of it, this car is absolutely amazing. Beautiful, beautiful car, currently with the engine cover removed and the view of Fury back there, the shape of the wing. These things are really, really interesting to see. And if I come back over towards this car, this is the one that actually went for auction recently. And that was quite an interesting moment. The first Hennessey Venom F5 to hit the auction block, which of course you never really know what it's going to do. And it sold for over MSRP, which is great to see the customer demand and interest in them basically. But this is here as well, just getting some servicing and some updates. And for us to be able to take a little look at it and very shortly take a little listen to the sound of this engine, which I have to say is going to make the little V6 in here sound relatively inferior in comparison. But yes, my Iron Man spec Ford GT has touched down. I can't wait to drive this out here. The first thing we're going to need to do though is to go and get it fueled up, because of course for transport it had to basically be empty. You have to ship it with less than a quarter of a tank. Oh yes, I forgot about that. The GT LM style exhaust from Quicksilver, those look so good. We installed that just before it shipped out, but to have my UK tags here, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, Henry Ford. To have that out here again is just nuts, to be completely honest. I can't wait to get in here very shortly. We're going to pull it out and go and have a little bit of fun out on the runway. You might remember that when we shipped it out, we had removed the headlight. Well, very kindly, the team here have actually popped that back in for us. So reversing the process that we did at MyCarImport, effectively taking off one of the wheels, taking out the wheel arch liner, then releasing it so it can slide out so you can disconnect the battery. The reason for doing that was if it had shipped in the container and been, well, with the battery on for a whole month, it probably would have gone, and that could be an expensive new battery. So you pop that out, disconnect it, no issues, and we are going to be good to go. So the simple solution has been reverted, so I can only thank them a lot for doing that, back in place and ready to rock and roll. It's time then for us to take a listen to this, and I hope my mic isn't going to get completely blown out. The way the tail lights illuminate there is actually pretty special, because obviously this is quite thunderous. So give it a second, and this is going to be quite the sound coming right up. Oh my goodness. That is a properly agricultural, angry V8. Wow. Listen to that thing. The only downside is that that does make my Ford GT sound a little bit unspectacular in comparison. While it's warming up, I just noticed this is running 3, 4, 5 wide rear tyres. Those are enormous. 3, 4, 5, 30, ZR20, 20-inch rears, Michelin tyres. But yeah, getting some temperature in this because we're going to hear it in a second. Headphone users, rest in peace. I'm sorry. That's crazy loud. I'm sorry for your eardrums. This time, we're going to be starting up the GT, which, like I say, is not going to be quite the same as the F5. But let me swing into this for the first time in the United States. We've nearly got 12,000 miles on here, and that's where the journey is beginning. But press the button, let's start it. Oh, I tell you what, that's not bad. How cool is this? This car, like I said, not a whole lot of fuel in there. Ready to be driven in the USA. This is it then. GT, here of all places, as we're going to be driving around towards where they have some fuel. We've actually popped my car on the dyno just here. In fact, the last time we were here, we dynoed my Dark Horse right inside, which is kind of cool. I've dynoed this car before as well, a long time ago when I visited FabSpeed with it. That was way back. Anyway, we're taking this round. Need to grab some cameras because we're going to the runway, right? We're going to go have some fun. We're going to drive this car out here, which is a little bit crazy, but it's what we're doing, so I'm rolling with it and I'm gonna have a good time. Right, just need to run inside and off we go. This is the strangest feeling, but this car is back in its homeland. This is the American, or was the American supercar. Of course, now you have the likes of the Hennessey Venom F5s. You also have the likes of the Corvettes, which have got a little bit crazy. But I've driven here with many different cars over the years, including my GT500, which has also been here and smoked up some tyres and had a pretty leery time, to be totally honest, and done a few drag races as well, and the Dark Horse, and now a third Ford. Actually, did we come here with the GT Black Series? Must have done, it feels like a long time ago. No, we didn't come here with the GT Black Series, transported it across a little bit. But we're going to take this round, go figure out exactly where we're going and what we're doing, get some fuel in it, because they actually have a drag strip right here, which we're going to go and explore. This is the good stuff right here. Yeah. Fueling it up, thank you very much. No, get some gas in here, we've got some of the other cars around. Going to go out and have some fun. But yeah, this is it, the GT's here. This is crazy, the fact that this car is this far away from home. It's just mad. It's such an iconic car to me. It's so cool, the stories, and the story's now getting even better. We have gas and Mustang making some great sounds. Sorry, you didn't really get to hear too much of that, but we're gonna... Oh, it's burbling, it's purring. Right, let's hop in here. Smash my leg as I do it. Get ready. Drop my sunglasses off as well. It's all going wrong. Let's make a move. It was pretty stormy here, so there's a lot of rainwater around, but let's pop this into sport mode, press manual, because we're here at the runway. This is, for the time being, just a gentle cruise. We're gonna go up towards the other end, but, oh, that sounds nice. That sounds very nice. How insane is this? To be here with this car. This is ridiculous. I know this isn't doing anything particularly special, but oh, this is awesome. This is so cool. And this is where I destroyed my tires last time. So let's not do that this time. I think we should amp up the pace a little bit. I mean, it's a fully running car, right? And it's crazy to think I only drove it the last time about a month ago. But still, there's that feeling of just warming and easing into things. Oh, the sound of this with the new exhaust. This is so good. It's so surreal that this car is now here. Never did I think this would come back to the United States and to come visit some new places as well. And this is the start, because places like COTA are awaiting. Let me turn around. Maybe we do a little launch control to go back the other way, because why not? It's what we're here for, right? So, into drive. Let's get out here. It's super easy in the Ford GT to do launch control. You have to give it to them for this. You basically, we're in auto, so you don't need to be, you could put it in manual, but that would be a disaster. You basically, with everything set, foot on the brake, foot on the throttle, and go. So cool. Look behind as well, look in the mirror. The air brake fully up. Wow, okay. I think we're gonna have some little drag races and things up here, and then see where this takes us. I might have got a little bit carried away, but we've stopped before we shred these tyres, because I imagine they're not quite so easy to get a hold of, and we've got some fun at COTA ahead. Of course, why we're here. We have, however, just had the most fascinating of fascinating drags with this, the 1200 horsepower Mammoth, and you're going to have to check out the Hennessey Performance channel for that. For now, though, I guess we're going to head back over, because it's been a whole lot of fun. We've been misbehaving a bit, but we've got to go onwards because there's a lot more stuff ahead of us today. Before we go anywhere, we need to talk about this for a moment. The Hennessey 850, the 850 horsepower upgrade package for the Mustang Dark Horse, and whether I should be doing this to my car. Now that mine has a good few thousand miles on it, I'm actually going to pop the hood while we're here because I want to show you what they've got going on under there. And yes, it's a hood, not a bonnet. We are here in Texas. We are here in the United States. Underneath here, you have the most monstrous of superchargers. There's a 3-litre supercharger bolted onto this. Look at the high flow intake for it as well. Looks the part, and it sounds the part. I can actually go and start this up in a second as well. Let me close this back down for the moment and come and show you the noise that this thing makes, because really and truly, it is a bit of a loud machine. So start it up. Of course, at this point, I've not yet picked up my Dark Horse on this trip, but it will be joining us again soon. We've got various controls and buttons, but let's just go straight for it. Start it up. Sounds thunderous immediately, but listen to this. That's nuts. 3,000 RPM. This thing sounds cool. I mean, mine sounds good anyway, but this is proper. This is, yeah, really something. What do you think? Should mine be upgraded to this spec? Should it become an H850? That is the question right now. I'm quite tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I am quite tempted to make some progress with that. It could be a lot of fun. Well, back in here, I feel like I've opened this door and started this car a lot of times today, but our journey is about to continue. So swing in, get this started. Let's go hit the road. Let's go back to Austin. For the first time here then, we are heading out towards the public roads, to the highway, to drive this car, and luckily I have all the documents with me. And this is something I should talk about at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if during this tour we get pulled over in this car somewhere by somebody, because the whole idea of a car with these funny looking foreign number plates on it is to any police officer like you're running with no tags, with nothing. So at some point, I'm possibly going to have to explain to a police officer, as we have with the Zenvo, with this car multiple times before, what exactly it is all about. But we've got about an hour and 45 minutes to get to the event this evening. I think we should get there fine before sunset and dark, although slightly late for the time we were supposed to be there, but we had a lot to do today and it's all been running a little bit behind schedule. But here we are on the roads in the United States, ready to drive, firstly in the wrong direction because we need to turn around and head back the other way, but on our journey. Bye bye Hennessey, we head past. Apart from here, again, a huge thanks to Cole, to Alec, to John, to everybody who's helped out with the logistics of this, having it here and being part of it all. But onwards, the US tour has now officially begun. One thing I often get asked when we're here in the US, and especially when you're here in Texas or certain other places, is have you ever been to a Buc-ee's where they have 1,000,001 gas pumps, literally endless gas pumps. They have Buc-ee, and now we have a very American Buc-ee to go with our other Buc-ee that's actually in the Dark Horse, and of course, a pulled pork sandwich to go with it, because that just seems to be what you do. This is actually lunch, so it is technically 20 to 6 right now. It's kind of dinner time, but this is lunch because it's been one of those days. So I apologize that we're going to be late for the event tonight, but we just need a couple of minutes of chill and some lunch and a Buc-ee, and it's funny being here with the Ford GT just because. So that's where we're at. Up ahead of us are the skyscrapers of Austin, the city skyline, and then to the right here is literally Circuit of the Americas, just over there, kind of behind. The last time I was actually here was with the AMG GT Black Series about 1.5 years ago, and that's where we're going to be taking this. That's basically why we're here. My justification for bringing this car out was to start this journey at the GT1 Sports Club event this weekend, to come out to Circuit of the Americas to drive it here. And then it's kind of everything that comes after that. We're going to take it also, as well as here, to Monterey Car Week, to SEMA in Las Vegas, to a ton of other places and other things. And it's just this surreal experience of driving my car from home somewhere so far away that is just mad to me. It's still mad to me. I've been lucky to do it a number of times, but every single time it's just takes a little moment to be like, wow, that's really special. That's really cool. And yeah, we're following a Hummer, which is lifted and with even wider track than normal. Just Texas things. Everything's bigger and better and faster and louder and crazier in Texas, right? What on earth does that guy have on his wheels? That's like dangerous. Sorry, we're quite far back, but he literally had like these things sticking out 1.5 feet out of each wheel, which just has to be a recipe for disaster. We're somewhere on the way into Austin now. I have no idea where we actually are, other than near some roadworks where they're clearly building a new raised highway flyover. But where we're going, I should explain a little bit more. Tonight's event is kind of a lot of things coming together. It's SRO, who host the GT1 Sports Club with Curbstone. It's Hypercar Invitational, which you might remember I've been to as well. It's 10, which is the Exotics Network, who are basically putting together tonight, which is the Hypercar Genesis. So there are like 20 or so hypercars, if not more, all at the event we're about to go to. Now, I know, because I've just seen some videos, because we're running very late, that the music is pumping, so I have no idea what I'm going to be able to film when we actually get there. But, for example, I mentioned Faster is there, big reveal coming up. GG Exotics is there with the Utopia, the first in the United States. There's a ton of other amazing cars, multiple Bugattis, multiple of everything cool. And it's sunset here in Texas, and it's been a beautiful day, which is actually really quite lovely after yesterday, which had mad storms, and that's a whole story on its own. That's going to be a whole story on its own. So, 8 minutes away. I'm quite excited now. We've literally just picked this up and we're going straight to a hypercar event, which is exactly how it should be. It looks like we're arriving, and this feels a little bit like pulling into a Gumball 3000 grid, because there's a ton of people and a ton of supercars, and I don't really know where we're going or which way we enter. Do we enter in here? I don't know, this is like the supercar parking. Maybe we go here, maybe we go round? I don't really know. I think we must go in here. I think it has to be. We're gonna try it and go exploring and see what happens and how all of this works. But there's nobody on the gate, so we'll just go with the flow. I see a Hennessey, I see a Venom F5 there. Well, something is over here revving like crazy, although it's literally just stopped. Oh wow, that is Faster's Apollo IE, center stage right there. If I can squeeze through somehow, it's absolutely packed. But the purple dragon has emerged, the purple Apollo IE. Look at that thing. Stick my phone through so that you can see it. What a lineup, in fact. We've got the Koenigsegg Regera, the Bugatti Chiron, we've got the Senna. You can't quite tell, we've got a Huayra down at the far end, we've got even more down this way. Let me keep trying to squeeze on through and go and see what we can find and what cars are around here, because this is absolutely packed. I mean, look over on this side. What do we have here? La Perta, Golf 918, one of two. Oh, we've got Supercar Stevens P1. We've got the race cars we can see from behind. We've got the Revolution Roadster, sorry, the F5 Roadster. Not Revolution, I feel like we've seen a lot of Hennessy's today. This is quite the crazy lineup. What an amazing thing to see. Piece of Spider back over there, tons of other cars. I'm going to try and squeeze back through over here towards where everything's happening, although the pounding music means I might actually have to get rid of this video because it might be a little bit too loud, but we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. We'll work out what's over here and what we can see. Well, that's a loud SVJ. Wait for the revs to come. I'm sure they're about to come. Oh, there's a drone right here, flying overhead. I'm about to move my car, or at least try and move my car. Oh, SVJs everywhere, literally. Let me see if I can squeeze down past the car here, and we'll see what happens and where all of this goes. Didn't take long, did it? So, one SVJ. Moving out of here. Fingers in the ears. SVJ near. Okay, that's out. That means it's going to be an old one in a second. Definitely event stores everywhere making a ton of noise. This is literally Supercar Hypercar Carnage that we've got going on here. Can I get a quick photo? Yes, go for it. We all are officially dead. Everybody comes running. Okay, everybody came running for that. That was pretty crazy. What I haven't done yet is come over here because this is the Utopia. And I actually saw that exact car when we were at the factory in Italy a couple of months ago. That is US car number 1, belongs to GG Exotics. Very cool, white with Tiffany blue stripe. Same car, like I said, that was out in Italy back when I was there to spec up my dream utopia. Off it goes again. So, wait for the search on Google for My Ears Hurt from Austin, Texas. There's your group. That's what happened. So this is the KTM Crossbow GT2. SVJ's out there as well. That must be hot. Even those little revs are making blue flames out the back. That one as well. And here are we with the Utopia. Let me just show you in here, given we're back here, the engine bay of this thing. Look at that. Work of art. I only drove the Utopia a couple of weeks ago. Incredible thing. This is delivery mileage. This car's not even moved yet. Oh, we've got some sirens going on from somewhere. This has descended into absolute chaos. Absolute chaos, Carnage. Joe, chaos.
Craziness.
Parker, chaos.
This is ridiculous.
It's always the Lamborghini's making all the noise.
Always, every time. Back at it. Well, I'm glad that car hasn't burnt to the ground, but I'm worried about it. It's next to the Heritage and the Bugattis. F12 making noise. In fact, it's all become a little bit chaotic around here. I can hear sirens, don't really know what's going on. It's starting to become nighttime. Been checking out the Utopia. Somebody's definitely running a siren over there. And I mean, just going with the flow right now. When the entire crowd comes running, you know there's something worth it. Oh, it's the Pagani, the Huayra Roadster. Is it a Roadster or... No, it's a BC. The Huayra BC. From Yellow Collection, Huayra BC. The Range Rover's not having any of it. US car show Carnage. Welcome to America. Sunset over Austin. You've got to respect the Dakar with the, I don't even know what that was, must have been a Mustang. The roof box with the tent setup. I think it was a Mustang that went that way. Well, the LaFerrari just left and I kind of missed it, but we'll see more of it. Oh, and there goes the 488 Spider. Yeah, the LaFerrari actually sounded epic, but unfortunately I was not on the camera. 600 LT Spider. There must have been 100 other cars here this evening. Like, it's a big lineup. Is that a 750S? It's quite hard to tell. Dim light. Yes, I think it is. That is a 7. Oh, Qatar. That's a real plate. That's insane. Number 7 from Qatar. Absolutely, it wasn't a Dubai plate. There was a Qatar plate. But that sounds like a Ferrari V12. That's the 812 over there revving. This is absolutely descended into carnage around here. Like, absolute carnage. That's, I think, like police lights, all sorts of things. While we're here, we've got to take a quick look at the inside of this Utopia. Look at this thing, the blue and white, the turquoise and white, the stitching, the embroideries, all the details. It's actually going to get started up now and moved, so we'll be able to hear it. Starting up the Utopia. It's definitely pretty loud out here. In fact, we've got cars constantly, one after another, heading out. Ferraris, McLarens, another 750. There's a Turbo S with its little fizz there. 600 LT. Just cars blasting one after another. GT500, yes. Absolutely yes. What's that? Entirely sure what Porsche that was. But I think everything here is kind of moving as night is falling. KTM going first, because probably these are going to be moving afterwards. Oh, Utopia fired up again. It has just descended into absolute Hurricane Technica. Wow, that flamed. That's not standard. Not even slightly standard. Yep, Utopia moving forwards. This is kind of funny. It's absolute carnage. What an event. Not for the first time today, we hear an F5 revving away. That's really loud. This is from I'm going to squeeze around the back. Or I'm going to try and squeeze around the back. It got very busy very quickly when that started revving, but let me try and get around here and see the crowd. Absolute carnage. What is going on? down to the right bank. Look at the crowd that came running for that. Everybody came running for that. The Rappers F5 Revolution. What is going on here? Night has fallen, but the Bugattis are rolling out. I feel like we've just seen the most unbelievable set of hypercar craziness. We've got a Showroom Super Sport and the police lights. Sorry, absolutely blinding. And they've got their tunes. I think they're both rocking the same song actually, which is kind of funny, but off they go one more time. And that's a way to cruise out. Off they go. I guess that's going to be time for us to go and jump in the car and get out of here. Moving out. Hennessey Venom F5 Roadster. And a swarm of people. That's the funny way here. Everyone follows the cars, chases. Oh, the Utopia is still just chilling over there. Look at that thing with the lights blinking around it. Well, there we go. That was what you call an adventurous day. Starting at Hennessey with the GT and ending now in a very nondescript garage, a 3-car garage that will soon have 2 Fords in it. But right now, it's got this thing that's literally on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. And it kind of reminds me of the day it arrived in Los Angeles when I took part in an event that day and we went for a hypercar convoy around Beverly Hills and LA. This time around though, it's been the start of what's going to be a really quite fun weekend, but I've got a lot more still to come from Texas as well, some things to upload for you guys, so stay tuned for that. For now, it is a double press, because on the second press is when it does the full lock. And we'll wrap it up there. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you again to the entire team at Hennessey for looking after this car and everything they've done. And let me know what you think about the H850 for the Dark Horse. That's it for now though. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.